Welcome back to the Silver Swanner channel. This is the 33rd video in my US typeset series, and today we'll be adding one of these V-nickels to the typeset. Before we get to talking about the coin and adding it to the book, I want to make a couple of statements about the channel. So I have no plans to stop making content, but certainly the pace of the content and new videos has slowed down drastically. For those of you that have stuck around and are subscribed to the channel or have commented on my videos, I greatly appreciate that, and I can plan to continue making new videos. I have lots of coins that I've already bought for the typeset that I have not added to the book, I have not made videos about, so I definitely have committed to making these videos. I have the coins, so again, if you are subscribed, you have commented, I greatly appreciate that. If you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed, I would greatly appreciate if you would subscribe to the channel as well. All right then, that being said, let's talk about the V-nickel, and let's talk about why I have a bag of them. So I wanted to share one of the things that you can do at a local coin shop, and that is oftentimes for more common coins, more recent coins, they'll simply have buckets of them available for you to sift through and cherry pick the coins that catch your eye. And usually these buckets are very cheap. I won't talk exactly how much I paid for these because I always recap the cost at the end of the video, but suffice to say it was extremely cheap for these coins. But I wanted to share that that's something that you can do. You can go and you can cherry pick. My particular LCS had Buffalo nickels and V-nickels available to cherry pick through. And you can go ahead and cherry pick them for your album, or if you're looking for a specific date, let's say you're working on an album for that coin, you can also cherry pick and fill in some coins in that particular coin book that you might have. So the V-nickel was produced from 1883 through 1913. There's actually two varieties. In 1883, they made a variety with no cents. There is a spot in the book for the V-nickel without cents or the V-nickel with cents. So I won't go ahead and talk about the 1883 version of the V-nickel. We'll leave that for a future video. The V-nickel was designed by the famous mint designer Charles Barber, and it features a depiction of liberty on the obverse. It's also often referred to sometimes as a liberty nickel. I personally feel like there's a lot of liberty motifs or coins that are named after liberty, so I prefer to use the name V-nickel when talking about this particular coin instead of a Liberty Head nickel, but both of those names refer to the same coin. So obviously on the obverse then, that is the depiction of liberty, and on the reverse it is a V that is surrounded by a wreath. So that all being said, let's go ahead and take a look at these coins under the microscope. We'll find which one looks the best to add to the album. We'll try and give it a grade using the red book as our guide. Then we'll add it to the typeset, and finally I'll share with you how much I paid for these V-nickels. So stick around. And welcome back, everyone. I have the V-nickels out of the bag and under the microscope now, and let's go ahead and take a look at these. So we're going to go through all 6 of them, identify which one we think is the nicest here. Looking at the red book, it says for a good 4 condition, no details in head, liberty obliterated. A very good 8, some letters in Liberty legible. Fine 12, all letters in Liberty legible. So looking through these, I'm going to go ahead and move some around here, and we'll go through them one by one first. I think looking at Liberty is going to be the finest way to determine the grade for a particular coin here. And I will zoom it in a little bit now that we have all the coins here. All right, there. So now we're zoomed in. Let's take it a little out here. Sorry, I wanted to show all the coins under the microscope. So usually I have it set up. All right. So we can see here, this is a 1909. We cannot see Liberty here. It would be right here on her crown or tiara. I'm not sure what you would call that. So this one we'll put to the side here. I don't think that that's going to be a candidate. This 1903 here, again, we can't make out Liberty there at all. This one has some weird coloring. I wouldn't even call it toning here. Like this kind of like white spots. And then you can see it looks like it's probably been cleaned because there's some really dark parts around the stars that would have been hard to clean. You can see the same kind of behavior here around the numbers as well. So we'll go ahead and move that one to the side. Here is a 1907. Again, this one looks like there might have been a little bit of cleaning, looking at some of the stars here. But we can make out a little bit of Liberty here. The laurels or the crown here looks in decent condition. I'm not stoked about some of this discoloration, but again, these are really just hole fillers for the time being, so I'm not overly concerned about that. So take a look at the next one here. So here we've got almost full Liberty here. Probably can't quite make out the Y in Liberty. Again, in our laurels here, I believe is what this is actually called, we can kind of make out these wheat stalks is what I think they are. Again, probably a clean coin. All the denticles look fine here. We have not looked at any of the reverses yet, so we'll flip this over, take a look at the reverse here. Again, it's a V surrounded by a wreath here. This one, like I said, is a with cents variety, so it includes the word cents here. And the denticles all around the reverse here look okay. So I think that's a pretty good candidate right now. I'll keep that one a little closer. So here is another one, a 1912 now. And again, most of Liberty here is visible. Some sort of greenish discoloration, which makes me nervous. I forget what exactly it's called, but it can happen more commonly on like copper cents. The composition of the Liberty nickels is 75% nickel and 25% copper. And let's flip this over and take a look at the reverse here. Almost looks like there's, again, some of this green here, so I'm a little nervous putting this in the book if there's some sort of reaction that's occurring on the metal. And I think the last one we haven't yet looked at then here is this 1904. And again, Liberty is completely gone. But again, we got some of those green spots. So I think the coin that we're going to add today is going to be this 1905 05 V nickel, and I'm going to give it a grade of a very good 8 because some of Liberty is still visible. So stick with me. Let's go ahead and add this to the book. Okay, and welcome back, everybody. We have the typeset book under the camera now. Let's go ahead and get it opened. We are still continuing in order here. So we last added, I forget, it's been so long ago now, but I think it was his classic heads. And so we're going to continue going in order here. And looks like a perfect fit. Usually the coins that are a little bit more worn don't fit quite as tight. They got a little bit of wear around that rim, dropped right in there. So as always, stick around. We'll go ahead and take some photos of the book, and then after the photos, we'll talk about what I paid for the V-nickel and what my running costs are up to this point for the typeset. And as always, here are the updated album photos. One of the most interesting facts about the V-nickel is that it's one of the most expensive coins on the secondary market, and that is specifically for the 1913 V-nickel, of which there are 5 known specimens. The finest is graded Proof 66 by PCGS and last sold in 2018 for $4.5 million. The PCGS price guide estimate for that coin now is $6.25 million. So on par with the scarcity of a 1933 St. Gaudens double eagle. In terms of what I paid for this lot of 6 V-nickels, I paid 50 cents a piece. So we'll give this coin a value of 50 cents when adding it to the book, bringing the total cost of my book, including shipping, to $3,561.39.